लेकिन बेचारा नहीं है, वो भगत सिंह का चेला है। तो ये सारी राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतें आम आदमी पार्टी को रोकना चाहती है, लेकिन ऊपर वाला हमारे साथ है, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं है। मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, नो वन कैन स्टॉप द आइडिया हुज टाइम हैज कम। इस पूरी यात्रा में बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने बहुत कुर्बानियां दी, बहुत संघर्ष किए। हमारे बहुत साथी हैं जिन्होंने खूब डंडे खाए। आपने भी खाए? अच्छा, 1 महीने बेड पे थे, फ्रैक्चर हो गया था। बहुत डंडे खाए, जेल गए, बहुत लोग जेल गए। हमारी संतोष कोली शहीद हो गई। हमारे साथ मीरा सान्याल जी होती थी। बिपिन करके एक लड़का था पंजाब में, चुनाव में प्रचार के दौरान उसका हार्ट अटैक हो गया। और भी ऐसे कई लोग हैं जिनको हमने इस यात्रा के दौरान खोया है। आज इस मौके पे हम उन सबको याद करते हैं और भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि उन सबको शांति दे, उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे, अपने श्री चरणों में उनको स्थान दे। बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने बहुत संघर्ष किया। अपने परिवार, नौकरी करते थे, अच्छी अच्छी नौकरियां छोड़ के आ गए, क्योंकि उन्होंने सबने सपना देखा था कि एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जब देश के अंदर अच्छी शिक्षा मिलेगी। वो सब बड़े खुश हैं कि दिल्ली के अंदर, अब पंजाब के अंदर जिस तरह से मॉडल गवर्नेंस का बनाया जा रहा है, उनके सपने पूरे हो रहे हैं। बहुत लोगों ने संघर्ष किया है और आज टाइम है अपनी आइडियोलॉजी को याद करने का, अपनी विचारधारा को याद करने का। आम आदमी पार्टी की विचारधारा के 3 स्तंभ हैं। याद है ना सबको? याद नहीं है? 3 स्तंभ हैं। कट्टर ईमानदारी, मर जाएंगे, देश के साथ गद्दारी नहीं करेंगे, बेईमानी नहीं करेंगे, एक टाइम की रोटी कम खा लेंगे, लेकिन बेईमानी नहीं करेंगे। बेईमानी का पैसा घर में नहीं आएगा। कट्टर ईमानदारी। दूसरा स्तंभ है कट्टर देशभक्ति। देश के लिए जरूरत पड़ेगी तो जान हाजिर है, फांसी पे चढ़ जाएंगे। और तीसरा स्तंभ है इंसानियत। इंसान को इंसान समझना है। इन लोगों की तरह गुंडागर्दी नहीं करनी। गुंडागर्दी हमारी विचारधारा नहीं है, उनकी हो सकती है। इंसानियत, इंसान के लिए कुछ भी करने की जरूरत पड़े, इंसान से, कोई इंसान से मोहब्बत करनी है। हम गाते हैं ना, इंसान का इंसान से हो भाईचारा, यही पैगाम हमारा। तो इंसानियत तीसरी हमारी आइडियोलॉजी है। पहली बार देश के अंदर पहले कहते थे चुनाव लड़ने के लिए इतना पैसा चाहिए, बेईमानी तो करनी पड़ती है। हमने दिखा दिया कि ईमानदारी से चुनाव लड़े भी जा सकते हैं और जीते भी जा सकते हैं।
All right, Arvind Kejriwal, then the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, talking about the struggles his party has had to face. Remember, it's a setback with the Election Commission withdrawing the national party status of the TMC and the NCP. And the gainers here are the Aam Aadmi Party. Granting national party status to AAP is the biggest ever boost to Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party. While TMC is mulling ways to challenge the decision of the Election Commission, AAP is obviously on cloud 9. More in this report.
A boost for one chief minister and a setback for the other. Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party granted the status of a national party. The Delhi CM welcomed the move with a jubilant tweet. In power with large majorities in Delhi and Punjab, a 6.77% of vote in Goa and 5 seats in Gujarat worked wonders for Aam Aadmi Party to get the national tag. The reverse happened for Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress and Sharad Pawar's NCP and the CPI. Because of its underperformance in states outside West Bengal, the TMC lost the national status it won in 2016. The West Bengal BJP insisted the TMC deserved derecognition as a national party.
तृणमूल कांग्रेस का जो गो तस्करी है, कोयला तस्करी है, उसका पैसा लेकर तरह तरह के जगह में घूमे, छोटे छोटे राज्य में गए, गोवा में गए, आसाम में गए, मेघालय में गए, ज्यादातर जगह पे उनको मुंह की खानी पड़ी। वहाँ के जनता ने उनको अपनी औकात समझा दिया और अभी जो डेटा उपलब्ध है उससे उन लोगों का नेशनल पार्टी का जो तकमा है वो चला गया।
Trinamool, however, downplayed the loss, saying it won't impact its positioning in the 2024 general elections.
Our party is not officially reacting to it. We'll later give our reactions. I do not want to comment this early. TMC has overcome many obstacles. It will overcome this obstacle also.
The Election Commission follows set technical criteria for granting national status to any political party. This includes the applicant party's recognition in 4 or more states, or a set number of seats in the last Lok Sabha elections, and a set vote share in its favour from any 4 or more states in assembly or general elections. With the Election Commission removing Trinamool, the NCP and the CPI and adding Aam Aadmi Party to the list, 5 national parties now enjoy the national status, Congress and the BJP included. Bureau Report, India Today.
But that is time for a quick commercial break here. On the other side, no decision on BJP ticket distribution. Even after the CEC meeting, BJP is to redo the candidate list. Home Minister Amit Shah to chair another round of BJP meeting today itself. Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.
As State of War Karnataka begins, a reminder why India Today is the true number one. The 5 big faces speak to us before all others. From Chief Minister Bommai
Our intent is to weed out corruption.
to Chief Challenger Sitaraman,
Yes, 100% I'm an aspirant.
from old warhorse Yediyurappa
And I have got 100% confidence that we are going to come back to power in Karnataka.
to muscle man DK Shivakumar,
My number Karnataka on 13, 141 will be the number.
and Kingmaker Kumaraswamy.
Offer is there. Okay. Everybody offering me.
When it's Karnataka, there's no competition. India's number 1 election channel.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist.
Well, with less than a month left for the assembly elections, the BJP and the Congress are busy finalizing the list of candidates. BJP is yet to release its first list of candidates. Even after the Prime Minister chaired a CEC meeting on Sunday, BJP has gone back to the drawing room to redo the list. Home Minister Amit Shah is going to be looking at the list once again today. Chief Minister Bommai claims the High Command was collecting ground information on various constituencies and new candidates, and the list might be released today itself. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi says the BJP is being cautious with its list and there's no confusion really within the party. The Congress, meanwhile, has taken a jibe at the BJP for being so indecisive over BJP tickets, saying there is chaos and confusion within the party. The Congress, on the other hand, is expected to finalize its third list of candidates in the next couple of days. It has declared candidates for 166 tickets so far.
ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಿಮ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಅವರ ಜೊತೆ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊಂದಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಒಂದು ಪಟ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಶಿಯಸ್.
ನಿನ್ನೆ ದಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವರೇನೋ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮೂರು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ರು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲದೊಳಗಡೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಳೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿಳಂಬ ಇಲ್ರಿ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಫೈನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Why is it that Mr. J.P. Nadda and Mr. Amit Shah having held marathon meetings, BJP has not been able to declare a single candidate till date? Does that not show and prove to our brothers and sisters of Karnataka the manner and fashion in which there is chaos and confusion in the Bharatiya Janata Party? It also proves that Bharatiya Janata Party is a sinking ship.
ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಸೀಟ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಎಐಸಿಸಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಸಮಿತಿಯವರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸದೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
ಬಿಜೆಪಿ all 224 candidates are chief ministerial candidates. So everybody has their own list. We all know that BJP is a broken house. Here in Karnataka, they have looted enough and more, and people who have looted enough and more are absolutely watching the game to be get unfolded. But however, this is an internal matter of BJP. But we know through our sources that there is a huge infighting and there is huge lobbying, and BJP is absolutely not able to decide. RSS has a list, Mukunda has a list, Mr. B.L. Santosh has a list, Yediyurappa has a list, Bommai has a list, everybody has a list. So we don't know what list is going to come. But however, BJP is a broken house. BJP is really definitely not even going to cross 60 seats.
Well, the BJP has not released its list. They are expected to do so today itself. The Congress says what's going on. There is chaos within the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Congress, on the other hand, is all set to release its third list after releasing the first and the second already. Nagarjun Dwarkanath is getting us more details. Nagar, clearly a difference in opinion when it comes to the state leadership and the central leadership. But what really is the middle ground herein?
Well, Karnataka is also a peculiar state, right? So because of a lot of caste combination, social engineering, the might and clout of the sitting MLAs also has to be taken into consideration. What we are picking up from our sources is that the moment High Command saw the list or the recommendation from the state unit, they were not happy with it. They were saying they want fresh air and remove at least few 15 to 20 sitting MLAs or lost MLAs who are seeking tickets. But the state unit is trying to negotiate with the High Command, saying that it would be very difficult because these people who miss out on tickets will try to contest independently and they are likely to take BJP votes. So they would be shrinking our vote share, and when it's a three-way fight, the third person will benefit out of it, most likely Congress or JDS depending on the area, and they'll win the seats. And hence sitting MLAs, removing them like the Gujarat model will be quite difficult in Karnataka. 50% of Karnataka election is all about caste, and then comes individual. So caste and subcaste truly matter while fighting elections on ground, and that social engineering needs to be done right. But the High Command is also of an opinion that if you don't bring in fresh faces, there would be a lot of burden or baggage on the sitting MLAs. The party doesn't have the anti-incumbency, but these sitting netas or the sitting MLAs bring in anti-incumbency, and hence the party might take a dent in terms of reaching the halfway mark. If you bring in fresh faces, fresh air, there's no baggage for the opposition to blame them, and hence it's quite easy for a win. Look at what happened in Gujarat is what the High Command is saying. The negotiation that happened for the first time since the CEC, the list is not announced. Remember 2 days back, the Prime Minister went straight from Karnataka after Bandipur, went and met the CEC, he headed the panel. Even after that, the list is not announced, 48 hours. And today, once again, there's a meeting this evening with the Union Home Minister, and most likely by night or in the morning, we'll have at least 200 to 180 seats clarity on the first list.
Nagarjun Dwarkanath getting us all of those details as far as the list is concerned. I'm going to thank you for the moment, but we're staying with news from Karnataka. With the assembly polls here closing in, confusion in the JDS over candidates for the Hassan constituency continues. War is broken out between brothers, former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy and JDS MLA H.D. Revanna over the Hassan seat. Revanna wants his wife Bhavani to get the Hassan ticket. Revanna has threatened that he won't contest from Holin Narshipura if his wife doesn't get the ticket. Revanna has also threatened if his wife is not given the shared ticket, she'll contest as an independent against the JDS in Hassan. Meanwhile, Kumaraswamy wants Karyakartas to be given the Hassan ticket. He says his father and former Prime Minister Deve Gowda didn't have the same sway as before to convince Revanna to drop his demand. Deve Gowda had met his son Revanna to in fact, invited him to his house last night, but there was no consensus on the Hassan ticket.
ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಹಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಿಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ರಾಜಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ದೇವೇಗೌಡರು ಇವತ್ತು ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಹ ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ದುರಾದೃಷ್ಟ. ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು?
So there is no question going either nearer to Congress or nearer to BJP. My journey will start from 10th onwards. All the old Mysore area, Hassan, Mandya, Chikmagalur, these are the old Mysore areas. I am going to Chitradurga, tour this area. This is our strong belt.
It is an internal matter of JDS, and I'm sure we would definitely solve it amicably. Politics is a game of aspiration, and everybody has an aspiration. And Bhavani Revanna having an aspiration from Hassan seat is absolutely no wrong. And Kumaraswamy has his own understanding what needs to be done. But this is an internal matter of party, and I'm very sure that when we sit across and this would be resolved amicably, and a suitable candidate would be given ticket, and we are very sure to win that ticket.
H.D. Kumaraswamy has spoken to my colleague Nagarjun Dwarkanath over this row over the Hassan constituency. Listen in.
There were a lot of reports about Hassan fight. They were saying that brothers are fighting for the Hassan ticket seat. How do you see when the BJP picks this and the Congress picks this as the issue, saying, look, the family is fighting?
Hassan issue, nothing will happen, brother. Smoothly it will going to be settled. 100% we are going to announce an ordinary worker to win that election. There will be no quarrel between family members.
You specifically said ordinary worker, you said.
Nothing will happen. Ordinary worker will going to announce, he will going to win.
See, we are living in a democratic world, and when people want to serve, when the candidates want to serve people, see, politics is a stage for you. Bhavani ji wants to contest, and even Swaroop is, been active in politics since a long time. So this ultimately depends on the party national president and our party state president. So I think they are better people to take call on this, because we have a committee, and I think the committee will take a call.
Meanwhile, the confusion over Congress's chief minister face in Karnataka continues. Amid the ongoing tussle between Sitaraman and D.K. Shivakumar, the Karnataka Congress chief's attempts to bring Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge's name into the race has raised eyebrows within party circles. D.K. Shivakumar's move to endorse Kharge is being seen by some as an attempt by him to checkmate Siddharamaya's prospects. Shivakumar's statements that he would love to work under Kharge if he becomes the chief minister has got tongues wagging among many in the state Congress. Moreover, Karnataka Congress chief's endorsement for Kharge has also reignited this debate on Dalit chief minister and old versus new within the party. However, he's maintained that the party's decision is final.
I said in the interview that I am also an aspirant for the Chief Minister post. Likewise, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is also an aspirant for the Chief Minister post. The aim of both of us is to defeat BJP and to bring back Congress party into power. And the ground reality in Karnataka is there is a wave in favor of Congress party. BJP is going to be defeated. My statement in the interview is misinterpreted.
Only one alliance JDS is open for is an alliance with Kannadigas and people of Karnataka. And right now it is very premature to tell anything. It is an internal matter of Congress whether they are going to have Sitaraman, Yediyurappa or Sitaraman, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge or D.K. Shivakumar as Chief Minister or any other Chief Minister candidate. We know one thing, only party which has come out with their list and only party which has decided their Chief Minister candidate is GDS. Kumaraswamy is going to be our Chief Minister, and the only people whom we are going to rely for our betterment is Kannadigas.
I want my party to take a call on it. I want my legislature to take a call on it. We have aspiration, we all are human beings. Why not? I am senior to everyone. You said 85. I am 35 years continuously elected to the assembly with all authority. I am my seniority.
More news from Karnataka, where showdown escalates over two dairy titans, Amul and Nandini, in the state. Congress is opposing Amul's entry, claiming it would pose a threat to the Karnataka Milk Federation brand, Nandini. BJP slammed former Karnataka Chief Minister Sitaraman, saying it was during his tenure that Amul expanded its footprint in the state. BJP MP Pratap Simha has alleged that Sitaraman doesn't support Karnataka farmers but backed cow slaughters and beef eaters. Sharpening the attack, Simha said Congress is fanning the Nandini controversy for electoral gains. State Congress Chief DKS has hit back, saying that it's an insult to Kannada pride and will impact farmers in this way.
ಈಗ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗೋಸ್ಕರವಾಗಿ ಇದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಗೋ ಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ದನಗಳನಿಗೆ ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಗೋ ಹತ್ಯೆ ನಿಷೇಧ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು KMF ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಪಾದಕರಿಗೆ ತಾಯಂದಿರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಮ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಗೋ ಹತ್ಯೆ ನಿಷೇಧ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡೋ ಗೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನೋರ ಓಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇವ್ರು ಗೋವನ್ನು ಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿನ್ನುವವರ ಪರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರಿವಿದೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 2018ರಲ್ಲೇ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಪಾಠವನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ
We all want to protect the Nandini brand which has been built up with such care, but I think by media has to be found. And certainly one of the good things we should have is Nandini should also be exported to more states. If we start getting too protectionist, we may not be helping. We may not be helping our national economy. But at the same time, I understand the concerns of those who are working in Karnataka, who are, after all, contributing to the success and quality of the Nandini brand. And we have to take their needs into account as well.
Anaga is getting asked all of those details as far as that latest controversy in the state of Karnataka is concerned. This is, in fact, only snowballing any further. But what really are the facts here? There's some amount of misinformation and, of course, a great amount of politicking, isn't it, Anaga?
That's absolutely right, Sneha. The sense on the ground is that any multi-cooperative society is ultimately going to be under the control of union government, and KMF happens to be state-owned. So in case if there is any sort of, merger, or if Amul does any sort of business with Nandini, the fear on the ground is that it will ultimately be under the control of the central leadership, and Karnataka will slowly lose its hold over KMF is the kind of fear that is mongering among Kannadigas, including the farmers. Of course, a very a sort of full-blown political war has also erupted over this issue. But the misinformation here is that Amul and Nandini will be merging. That is what's false. They will not be merging because the government has made it amply clear that that there's not going to be any sort of merging. And even if Amul comes down to Karnataka, Nandini will be strong enough to give Amul a tough fight. Is the narrative panned out by the current government? But of course, a full-blown political war has erupted here. A kind of fear-mongering of sorts initiated by the Congress party, trying to stoke in the emotive issue, because Nandini happens to be an emotional issue for Kannadigas, because KMF is a homegrown brand. So it just looks like the opposition is using this emotive issue as an ammunition for their political points.
Anagha, I'm going to thank you for the moment, for getting us those details. The war continues as far as this debate over Nandini versus Amul in the state of Karnataka, which of course is poll bound. With that, it's time for a quick commercial break here, getting you much more news in just a minute.
May 2022. A normal day that changed to an abnormal day. She was cut into 35 pieces.
उसने multiple weapons का use किया.
Up against a psychotic butcher and a web of savagery. Now her father fights to put pieces of justice together. This is the story of Shraddha and her father.
जब तक इसको फांसी नहीं होगी तब तक मैं इसका अंतिम संस्कार भी नहीं करूंगा.
My daughter Shraddha, coming soon.
We have some news just coming in. Khalistanis are using Twitter bot army to promote violence against Hindus in India. A yet-to-be-published research by Network Contagion Research Institute has revealed that Khalistani extremists are using an army of bots or fake Twitter accounts to promote acts of vandalism and violence in Australia against Indians and the Indian government establishment. NCRI is known to produce independent, data-driven and evidence-based series of reports regarding the spread of hostile ideological content worldwide. Says Khalistani is also using evasive tactics to avoid Australian authorities. Since January 2023, NCRI found 359 active accounts that worked in networks of 20 to 50 accounts. These Twitter accounts are used to promote violent messages and videos, often featuring the founder of Sikhs for Justice, an organization that is banned in India. Gaurav Sawant is getting us all those details, our managing editor, with his perspective on that. How is this happening? Gaurav, just take us to the details of how the Sikhs for Justice, in fact, is trying every trick in the book to stoke tensions here in India and outside of India as well.
You know, we've seen a series of attacks that have taken place on Indian interests, Indians, and on our temples overseas, whether it's in Australia or in the United Kingdom or in Canada. Initially, some of these had been traced back to radical Islamist organizations like in the United Kingdom, but both in Canada and in Australia, they were traced back to radical Sikh separatists or the Khalistanis. Now, an independent analysis and research by the NCRI has revealed that there is a group of Sikh separatists the Sikhs for Justice, as they call themselves, they operate multiple social media accounts, whether it's on Twitter or other social media platforms, and then they spam, whether it's your Twitter timeline or other social media platforms with a lot of hate messages, a lot of messages that incite passions, a lot of messages that are actually leading to ill-informed opinion about India and the condition of Sikhs in India. This is being done by hostile forces. Indian intelligence agencies have argued that a lot of these elements are funded by narco-terrorism. They're funded by Pakistan's ISI, and it's been happening for several decades. It's only escalating now. The violence that took place in Australia, the violence that took place in Canada, according to NCRI, and especially if we were to talk about Australia, has been traced back to these accounts that were spewing hate messages and inciting passions against India and Indians overseas.
They use constantly, Twitter for example. What kind of action can be taken by the platform itself?
India has repeatedly been raising these issues with the social media platforms. Several Twitter accounts have been blocked, several have been banned. But since it's a bot operation, they end up acquiring a lot more, and they keep spamming your timeline. They keep sending out these messages. I'm sure it's happened to you. It's happened to a lot of journalists where one after the other they get hundreds of messages. The timeline is flooded with half-truths and absolute lies about what's happening. For example, if internet was cut off in a couple of districts, they said all of Punjab is without internet, or there is atrocities that's happening place, and so on. So they spread canards, and then this is spread wide. Those who are living overseas and don't have access to information then rely on these messages because it's a constant attack on your mind. It's constantly coming on your timeline. So then they get influenced, and then hate messages come up or targeted attacks take place. India has been trying to counter it with facts. Unfortunately, some members of parliament in these countries, they've also played, they're working with these elements because of their vote bank politics. But then India is taking it up very, very seriously with them.
All right, Gaurav, I'm going to thank you for the moment, for getting us those details and putting that into perspective. The Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman has given a befitting reply to negative Western perception of India. Well, at the Peterson Institute for International Economics in Washington, D.C., Sitaraman replied to questions about Muslim minorities in India being subject to violence. The Finance Minister slammed Western media and said that India has the second largest Muslim population in the world and that the population of Muslims is only growing in numbers. She also claimed that Muslims continue to conduct normal lives in India. She also went on to say or brand Western write-ups on India's stand on Muslims a complete sham. A delegation of 6 Americans also met the Finance Minister. The delegation said that Khalistani movement is fizzling out due to pro-Sikh steps being taken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and added that a handful of Khalistanis are giving a bad name to Sikh communities.
India has the second largest Muslim population in the world, and that population is only growing in numbers. If there is a perception, or if there's in reality, their lives are difficult or made difficult with the support of the state, which is what is implied in most of these write-ups, I would ask, will this happen in India, in the sense, will the Muslim population be growing than what it was in 1947? As opposed to, let us say, I take the name of the country and therefore the contrast can be sharper, as opposed to Pakistan, which was formed at the same time. India was divided into 2 Pakistan. Pakistan declared itself an Islamic country, but however is said, minorities will be protected. Every minority has been dwindling in its number, or if I may use the word which is harsher, decimated in Pakistan. Even some of the Muslim sects have also been decimated. Violence prevails against Muhajirs, Shia, and every other group you can name, which is not accepted by the mainstream, Sunnis probably. Whereas in India, you would find every strand of Muslim doing their business, their children getting educated, fellowships are being given by the government, and I would want to see where exactly is that one state where. And again, law and order is a very state subject, it's not the government of India's subject. Each province has its elected government, they take care of the law and order in those states. So across the board in India, if violence is happening to make Muslims get affected, itself is a fallacy as a statement. It cannot be so. Each province and its police are different. They are run by the elected governments in those provinces. So that itself tells you how these reports have no clue of the law and order systems in India. I would only say, come have a look at what's happening in India, rather than listen to perceptions being built by people who have not even visited on the ground and who produce reports. The first thing is, of course, we are reaching near saturation in providing the basic facilities in India. Earlier, the discussions would be on poverty alleviation. Have we removed this many number of people from out of poverty and lifted them out? Today, the approach of the government is to empower the poor people with at least the basic amenities, and that is give them some good house to live in, which is made of concrete and not this thatched roof, with toilets in them, with drinking water reaching them through pipes, electricity, and a good road, not just to the village, but also to the streets in the village, and then connect them to the nearest highway, connect them with good transport facility, and so on. So saturation, financial inclusion, so that each member of the household has a bank account, and they get every such benefit which has to reach them, but directly into their bank account rather than through a middle agency. So in each one of these, we are reaching saturation, which means if there are 100 people today who are eligible to get them, they would get, we are nearer 98, 99. And of course, newer people can get added as the population grows. We'll keep attending to them, but saturation should get in. So that is one of the goals which we'll. Second, we are now focusing very much on skilling people, each according to their level. So skilling centers are now spread all over the country. The gradation of the skilling vary according to individuals, and businesses and private sector entrepreneurs are also tied into it, so that there is a link between the kind of training that businesses want and actually those who are getting the training, so that immediately they can get recruited. So there will be a lot of skilling emphasis. India's digitization program will be going at full throttle, and it will cover most aspects of our lives. Today it covers health, education, and also financial transactions. We expect it to move on to other areas as well, so that there's greater ease of living and transparency. Economy gets even more formal, and therefore with that you find the economy has its full strength coming on board, rather than having a second layer which remains in the grey area.
It's quite unfortunate that a certain perception is being formed about India in the Western press, and a large part of it is because of what the opposition members of parliament and leaders have been saying abroad, particularly people like Rahul Gandhi, who go abroad and make all kinds of sweeping statements about persecution of minorities back in India and seek foreign intervention in India's internal affairs. The Western media has in part formed its perception based on that, and in part on basis of what some factions of the media here speak. But the truth of the matter is very, very different from what they would like to believe. In the last 9 years, the state of minorities in India has improved significantly, whether it is the drop in the girl child education, which was earlier 70%, has now dropped to 30%. scholarships, which have gone up from 3 crore before 2014 to 5 crore now. Representation in government jobs, which was a paltry 5% before 2014 and now stands at 10%. Or for that matter, the overall support that is being provided to the members of the minority community, skilling them. Just about 20,000 people in 2014 were skilled, as opposed to 2 million, which is about 20 lakh people post-2014. So these developments that have happened have put the minority community in a very, very good position in India.
Well, Finance Minister's concern about Muslims in India is welcome. But at the same time, I think she needs to answer that what is the opportunity that is being given to Muslims in India as far as her party is concerned. You see, the highest lawmaking body, that is the Parliament, Lok Sabha, where they don't give a single Muslim a seat. No, how can they justify in saying that we are trying to empower Muslims or we are giving them their legitimate share? And you see, I am sorry to say, to tell the Honorable Finance Minister also, that please don't compare Indian Muslims, 200 Indian Muslims who are committed to the growth of their country, the welfare of their country, with Pakistan or with any other country. More particularly, every time we are being just found fault with regard to Pakistan. We don't care what is happening in Pakistan. We are not concerned with the Muslims in Pakistan or Pakistan establishment. Once we have parted from 1947 onwards, we are growing in our country. We are committed to the...
Some news just coming in. The noose seems to be tightening around Amritpal after key aide of Amritpal has been nabbed. Aide Papalpreet taken to Assam jail. Amid tight security, the aide has now been taken to a Dibrugarh jail. Papalpreet Singh, a close aide of Waris Punjab, the chief Amritpal Singh, arrived at the Dibrugarh airport. The Punjab police team reached Dibrugarh with him by a Vistara flight. He is being brought to Dibrugarh Central Jail amid tight police security. Amid tight security, the aide of Amritpal has now been taken to Dibrugarh in Assam. These are pictures on your screen. First on India Today of this man who is an aide of Amritpal Singh, who continues to be absconding. A key aide of Amritpal, Papalpreet, has now been taken to custody and he's been taken to a jail in Dibrugarh amid tight security. Kamaljeet is getting us more details. Kamal, we know that Amritpal's closest aide, Papalpreet, was arrested in Amritsar and is facing charges under the stringent provisions of the NSA. What kind of assistance did he provide to Amritpal, and what's been their equation ever since?
You know, Amritpal's closest aide was Papalpreet, and that is why at 42 he is also a former journalist. So wherever he was hiding, it was through Papalpreet's contacts, whether it was Baljeet Kaur in Kurukshetra, whether it was Pilibhit. So Amritpal was really heavily relying on Papalpreet. But what we know is that on 18th of March, when the first time the police went to hunt on Amritpal and his aides, that is when the duo had actually fled together. And on the 28th, especially 28th of March, the second time around when they closed in on Amritpal, then also they were together. But that's the time that they got separate, is what our sources indicate to us. And this is what he's actually told the Punjab police, that since then both of them have been separate. Now this also comes amidst a lot of speculations that perhaps Papalpreet ran out of options and surrendered before Punjab police and eventually was arrested and taken to Dibrugarh. What is important and significant is the sort of network Papalpreet had. He's known to be a hardliner. Today also we know that in Punjab and Haryana High Court, there was a petition on at least 5 of the detainees where questions were asked. And we've been told that even though Punjab government has filed its reply, the court has actually asked Union Government of India to file its reply on the petition regarding the NSA and the maintainability of it all. So all this is going to be extremely crucial. And meanwhile, ahead of Baisakhi, a big shot in the arm coming in for Punjab police with a crucial arrest of Papalpreet. Now the question is, where is Amritpal? If Papalpreet is in the net, can he be far away? And this is where there is a high security which has been formed across several Akal Takts right here in Punjab, and they are very hopeful that the arrest would be made of Amritpal very shortly. With his key aide under the net and under radar, it is very clear that even Amritpal may be running out of options.
Well, running out of options, and what important leads could he give about the whereabouts of this man who's been absconding for weeks together? I'm going to thank you, Kamal, for getting us those details. In other news, it's a big setback for the Stalin government. The Supreme Court has given the go-ahead for the RSS march in Tamil Nadu. The apex court today dismissed all pleas from the Tamil Nadu government, challenging the nod for the RSS's proposed march in the state. The Stalin government had approached the Supreme Court, seeking a stay on the Madras High Court order, allowing the RSS rally, but now the government has not got any relief from the top court either. The Madras High Court on the 10th of February allowed the route marchers in spite of the state refusing permission, citing the threat of attack on the marchers from the band outfit the Popular Front of India. The government proposed that this rally be restricted to 2 districts, which the RSS challenged. The BJP has now hailed the Supreme Court order and said that this exposes the Stalin government's agenda.
The Supreme Court has dismissed their appeal. At least from now, Mr. Stalin should understand, we should give values for the society, should give values for the discipline, organization like RSS, and I think they may not change. But this is definitely an ideological battle, which we have won.
Pramod Madhav is getting us more details on that story. Pramod, it does appear that the Stalin government at this point in time doesn't really have an option, with the Supreme Court also turning down their plea, isn't it?
Well, on one side, BJP is calling this as an ideological battle and something they have won. But on the other hand, DMK, earlier also, the government, Tamil Nadu government has been stating that they were denying the permission for this march, claiming a kind of threat after the ban of PFI. This is the only explanation that was given by the Tamil Nadu government, that is DMK government, and also they stated that like a march across Tamil Nadu, there is no possible way for them to provide protection. However, the Supreme Court was not ready to accept the explanation by the Tamil Nadu government. Now, we spoke to RSS netas from the state who have said that they have received the verdict only now and they are looking into what should be done in the future. Yet they have to go to the district authorities of each and every district. They have to give them a particular date, and this has to be only, authorized by the Tamil Nadu government and the district authorities. We are waiting from the state government as to what will be done then.
Well, as far as law and order situation concerned, it solely is the state government's responsibility, and we'll wait and watch how that plays out in days and weeks to come. And the rally is carried out by the RSS. Pramod, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us those details. A story and much more going up on our website too. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. My colleague Pooja with the latest news in just a bit.
viewers, let's take a look at the weather report across the major cities this morning. Thiruvananthapuram is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 61. Mumbai is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 63. Panaji is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 67. Ahmedabad is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 142. Bhopal is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 75. Jaipur is at 28 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 115. Delhi is at 26 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 113. Srinagar is at 13 degrees Celsius with AQI being 68. Lucknow is at 27 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 108. Patna is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 197. Kolkata is at 33 degrees with an AQI of 146. Hyderabad is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 136. Bangalore is at 24 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 57. Chennai is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 74. This is all we have for you in this segment. Hope wherever you are, you find favorable weather around you. Keep watching India Today for all the weather updates with me AI Sana all through the day.
Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Lunch Break. I'm Pooja Shali. Let's begin first with the headlines. Sonia Gandhi writes an editorial slamming government at the centre, says Modi is destroying pillars of democracy, alleges CBI and other institutions are being misused by Modi government. But in Rajasthan, the Congress has infighting to deal with. Pilot versus Gehlot again. Pilot on dharna against his own government. Rajasthan Congress in charge says Pilot is targeting Congress, not Gehlot. Meanwhile, it is ED heat on Tejashwi Yadav over land for job scam. ED questions Tejashwi Yadav over 600 crore rupees proceeds of crime to him. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman is in the United States of America and gave a firm rebuttal to the negative Western perception of India in Washington. Says do not listen to perceptions built by those who have not even visited the ground and are producing reports.
I would only say, come have a look at what's happening in India, rather than listen to perceptions being built by people who have not even visited the ground and who produce reports.
It's big victory for the RSS in the Supreme Court. Plea by the Stalin government to stop an RSS route march on Tamil Nadu has been junked. No decision on BJP ticket even after the CEC meeting. BJP is likely to redo the candidate list. Home Minister Amit Shah, back from Arunachal Pradesh to Delhi, will chair another round of meeting likely today evening. All right, so the big news coming in is from Congress leader and former president of the party, Sonia Gandhi. Breaking her silence, trained her guns directly at Prime Minister Narendra Modi and government at the centre. She wrote an editorial titled, "An enforced silence cannot solve India's problems." Sonia Gandhi has said that Modi-led government at the centre is systematically dismantling pillars of democracy and 3 pillars specifically. So she's mentioned the recent disruptions in the parliament, branding it a government-led strategy to prevent opposition from raising issues like unemployment, inflation and the Adani scam. She's also accused Bharatiya Janata Party and the RSS of egging on hate and violence and Prime Minister Modi of ignoring it. She's also brought out opposition's charge that the government is misusing central investigation agencies, adding the cases against those who joined the BJP are miraculously evaporating. Let's go across to my colleague Akshay Dongre on the ground. Akshay, that's clearly a scathing editorial that she has written. Take us through also some of the other contents of this editorial that Sonia Gandhi has written.
Well, Pooja, clearly it's a very, very scathing attack on the present government because clearly Sonia Gandhi, who is also the chairperson of the Congress parliamentary group, she has directly attacked the Prime Minister, the present day government, of not just being impartial to the opposition. She has written that all the 3 parts of the government, or rather our country, all the 3 main pillars of our democracy, be it the the legislative, the executive or the judiciary, all of them are being dismembered, all of them are being attacked by the government of our country. Now that's a scathing attack. We are talking about legislative, where Sonia Gandhi has alleged that the financial bill was rammed through the parliament while Prime Minister was in his constituency. When we talk about the judiciary, she has written that many of the former judges, retired judges, have been targeted, have been attacked verbally. She has also written that the executive also is not doing its job properly, because there is systematic dismemberment of the democracy that is going on right now in the government. So that's a very, very scathing attack that has come directly from Sonia Gandhi. It is very rare that she writes, or rather she expresses her opinion politically when it comes to the media, but this elaborate article starts from stating that the Prime Minister's actions speak louder than words, but then when we read that entire article, it goes on to attack Prime Minister on each and every level of the government. She has mentioned about the Adani scam, she has mentioned about other issues that the opposition has been trying to raise. But then there is also a question, Pooja, that why the opposition party is not able to take these matters to the public on the ground. Because if we remember the opposition, when Bharatiya Janata Party was in opposition, we used to see a lot of protest on the ground happening almost every day, be it the LPG price, be it the other inflation issues, be it the corruption issues. All of these battles were
That's the whole point,
ground.
Akshay, that if the Congress is so strongly believes in what it is saying in editorials, why is it not able to reach out to the masses? Because the BJP is on the ground. Elections in Karnataka, BJP seems to be everywhere with its top star campaigners, while the Congress party is struggling not just for Karnataka, even in Rajasthan. And perhaps that's where this miscommunication, so to say, or lack of communication with people is coming through. Akshay, also do tell us that it appears that the editorial is not just about the government, but directly charges at the Prime Minister as well. Stay on with me, Akshay, because I'm now joined by BJP's Amit Malviya, who's not only heading the IT cell of the BJP, but also co-in charge of Bengal. Mr. Amit Malviya, she says misusing agencies, ignoring the hate and violence, destroying the pillars of democracy. What is the BJP's reply to that?
I think Mrs. Sonia Gandhi is living in a parallel world, and the article that's been penned under her name is without her consent, because if she had read it and corroborated it with what's happening in the real life, she would not have probably lent her name to this article. I want to remind Mrs. Gandhi that when she speaks about misuse of agencies, it is the courts that have put her on the dock as far as the National Herald scam is concerned, and the agencies are investigating it. The lawyers in the Congress party went all out to defend Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, but did not get any relief from the court. Therefore, for her to allege that there is misuse of agencies seems to be quite far-fetched. Not just that. Recently, Congress party senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi went to the court alleging misuse of agencies, and the Supreme Court found no merit in it. So clearly, either Mrs. Gandhi is not informed about these issues, or she just chose to write an article anyway. Having said that, it is Sonia Gandhi's prerogative to make an argument in the parliament. The parliament was there. It was disrupted by the Congress leaders. Why did she not choose to speak in the parliament? She's still a member of the parliament.
Mr. Malviya, that's exactly what Sonia Gandhi is saying, that the government, or specifically the Prime Minister here, does not even allow the opposition to speak. That's their allegation. Do you think this message that strongly is constantly being reiterated, whether it's by Rahul Gandhi on foreign soil or Sonia Gandhi writing these editorials, eventually it will be the Indian public to decide which narrative or which view do they go with?
Look, repeating a lie again and again won't make it the truth. So Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi can repeat a lie 1,000 times, write editorials, go to foreign shore, make the same intervention, but that's not going to change the reality here in India. The parliament was functioning, there were legislations that were passed, but if Sonia Gandhi chose not to speak, then how is the BJP responsible for it? Do you have any record of the Congress saying that they would like Sonia Gandhi to make a speech in the parliament? I don't remember Sonia Gandhi ever expressing her desire to speak, or the Congress, for that matter, communicating to the chairs that Sonia Gandhi wants to speak. Then how can Sonia Gandhi say that she was not allowed to speak? That is the question. You don't speak in the parliament, you come out and you write editorials which are not rooted in truth. That is the problem. And that is why the Congress has been reduced to the rump that they have been, because people don't take them seriously anymore. They say things which are not born in reality. And that is what is the raison d'etre of the Congress party today. And that is why Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi today remain as irrelevant as they can be.
All right, very important. Mr. Amit Malviya, I appreciate you speaking to India Today. Thank you very much. This is, remember, going to be a big issue that she has written an editorial, very scathing, targeting not just the government at the centre, but directly at Prime Minister Modi, of ignoring all the hate and violence that's erupting across the country. We have some more news coming in. Let's take a look at that. All right, big news coming in. Jagdish Titler, accused of involvement in the 1984 anti-Sikh violence, is at the CBI's CFSL department to give his voice sample in the same 1984 riots case. He was called in by the Central Bureau of Investigation to present himself. And let's now listen into the reactions coming in on that.
Nothing to do with 84. There's another case which they wanted my voice. So I've given my voice.
So, but that case was also related
to... Ask them, if you ask them, you know, if that is the case, then it will be something makes it. Because बात हुई नहीं है. नहीं कोई और बात.
In your party also there is so much of interest which is happening. Sachin Pilot is sitting on protest.
I don't want to speak on anything. आपने पूछ लिया, मैंने बता दिया.
So that's the big news coming in. This is, remember, another development, and there have been in the past few months, there have been cases that have been reopened, SIT has been started, arrests are taking place, but now Jagdish Titler, a senior leader of the Congress party, but for long now has been accused of involvement in the 1984 anti-Sikh violence. Now the CBI has sent him a notice, called him at the CFSL laboratory, which is to give his voice sample in the 1984 riots case. Remember, there were some of the videos that were released with regard to by some Sikh leaders themselves that stated that it was Jagdish Titler's voice. Could these be audios be the same one? Is it to verify that? All of that is being and is consideration of that. This is big. He's been accused of involvement in the violence. And
आज आप CFSL lab आए क्यों आए हैं सर?
क्यों आए?
It has been 39 years, sir. What do you have to say about this? It has been 39 years, sir. Don't you think that now it's a time for you to closure? Say something.
I don't want to say anything.
Why, sir?
I won't let them do it. Let the government do their own job.
Sir, no, the government is doing their own job. But what do you now regret about what you've done?
What have you done? What have I done? Which have we? See again, you are one person. You are one person who makes it a person something. What have you done? What have you done? What have I done?
Sir, if you
yourself said 25 years and now you tell me what you done.
After 39 years, sir. Sir, जो voice sample लिए गए.
कौन सा आरोप लगाया है?
सर, आपको मेन
कौन सा आरोप लगाया? एक जना पुट करे सर. कौन सा आरोप?
सर, पुल पंगस मामले में जो एक की डेथ हुई, तीन की डेथ हुई थी और आग लगाई गई थी गुरुद्वारा में. उसके लेकर
उसके तो बारे हुआ ही नहीं बात. उसके बाद हुई नहीं. ये तो बिल्कुल डिफरेंट. पता करो जाके. Nothing to do with that 84 thing.
Titler साहब, you regret about the entire incident which happened, sir? You've been made as a key suspect. They would have found something evidence now. आपको इसलिए लगाया हुआ है.
If there is one evidence, no, I'm prepared to hang myself. Let me tell you, if there was evidence, one evidence, they would have registered a FIR against me. 30 years they have not done it. They're still doing an inquiry. And now you're asking me, look at the way kind of things which they're saying to me. बिल्कुल गलत बात है, झूठी बात है. कोई केस 84 का नहीं है. There is something else which they wanted my voice.
सर, वो क्या बातें थी जो आपके किस मामले को लेकर फिर आए सर?
आप उनसे पूछिए.
सर, किस मामले को लेकर था सर?
Sir, because the allegations are not stopping. You came here to give your audio recording samples. So what was it for?
There's one statement they wanted me to. This nothing to do with 84 rights. Nothing to do with it. There's another somebody had put a complaint that Mr. Titler said something. So they want to know if I had said this. But
so justice has not been given to the victims who were part of this tragedy.
Listen.
And you are accused in that.
No, I'm not accused. Sir. This again, I'm saying, you media have created a hell for me. It's all right. Why are you here, sir? Why? I've told you that there's nothing to be said for. Sir. There's another case which they wanted my voice. So I've given my voice.
Sir, but that case was also related
to... Ask them, if you ask them, if that is the case, then it will be something makes it. Because... बात हुई नहीं है नहीं कोई और बात
in your party also there is so much of influx which is happening. Sachin Pilot is sitting on protest.
I don't want to speak on anything. आपने पूछ लिया मैंने बता दिया.
Of course, a question would also emerge since 1984, calling him now, so many years later, for a voice sample. Just to give you a background, this was about 2018 when some videos were shown in a press conference by one of the Sikh leaders, Manjeet Singh GK as well. Let's go across to Manjinder Singh Sirsa. He's now joining me, BJP leader. Mr. Sirsa, what should one make of this? Should one see this as a development in ensuring that justice is given, that there will be some more accusations that can be now confirmed? Or perhaps is this too little, too late?
No, definitely it's too little, too late. But what we were expecting is that first I was apprised about the case. So the clean sheet was given to him by the CBI. But thereafter, and as I was the General Secretary of the Gurdwara Management Committee, I filed an application before the concerned magistrate saying that this clean sheet should not be accepted, and we have a credible evidence and which we want to dispose before the court and the CBI. Thereafter, this clean sheet was withdrawn, and the chance was given to the witness, and the witness has given a statement under 164 couple of weeks back, just a few days back, in fact, a week back. So thereafter, now the CBI is duty bound to investigate this case. At the time, in 2018, there was one audio which was recorded by one of the friend of this Jagdish Titler, who happens to be I don't know, one kind of a business, into some gun business he was there. So whatsoever reason he was with him, and he recorded his statement, which Delhi Sikh Gurdwara Management Committee later did a press conference and gave that evidence also to the CBI. Now CBI want to clear one thing, that the statement given by the one of the witness in Pulbankash case, they want to collaborate that whether the Jagdish Titler during this conversation with one of the person is the same case he was talking about. So I think that could be the reason, but certainly last day he has to face the law, and very soon he'll be behind the bars in this case of 1984 Pulbankash case.
Mr. Sirsa, I have one more question. You know, at this point, of course, the Congress is also often criticized the manner in which, while people have not had him back in the electoral discourse, but the Congress has been associated with Titler for a very long time. Even for recent elections in Delhi, there was a mention. How do you look at the political situation? He says media has made the life hell for me when there have been enough serious accusations against him. And now he says this is not even that same case. What does one make of what he's saying?
So first of all, it is not. He has made the hell of hundreds and hundreds of Sikhs. He has killed the innocent people, and one of the witnesses, as I told you earlier, has disposed before the magistrate that he was the one who came to the Pulbankash and killed the innocent people. Secondly, the Congress has been saving all this, not just Jagdish Titler, but also Sachin Kumar, Kamal Nath, HKL Bhagat. Congress has been time and again saving them. But in spite of their best efforts, we are able to get Sachin Kumar behind bars, and he got a life imprisonment. And we are sure that the same fate Jagdish Titler will also have. Soon he will be also indicted and convicted in this case. And Jagdish Titler today saying that this case ka koi matlab nahi, it's totally a wrong statement. Yes, see, the case under which Jagdish Titler has been called is a case which is related to 1984, where Jagdish Titler has given some statement in front of one of his friends, who then became a witness and said कि मेरे सामने इसने बताया था कि मैंने इतने सिखों को ऐसे मरवाया. And for that reason only, they have called him for the sample of his voice sample. So it is connected, it is directly connected to 1984, and this case CBI has called because no other case is pending before CBI of Jagdish Titler. It's the same case of 1984 killings for which CBI has summoned Jagdish Titler.
We can only hope, Mr. Sirsa, that justice, even if years later, is ensured for the victims of the anti-Sikh riots that took place in 1984. It will never be enough, but at least one step there. And can voice sample at least lead to much more conviction? Perhaps that could be a better step. Manjidhar Singh Sirsa, thank you very much for speaking to India today. Ashutosh Mishra also joins me. Ashutosh, he says, this is not related to 1984. Media is making hell for me. But for the longest time that we have known, there have been serious allegations that in North Delhi in 1984, a day after the assassination of then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, he was accused of leading a mob and a riot to attack the Sikh community.
Well, Pooja, there have been literally, key evidences in this case who have named Mr. Jagdish Titler as a key conspirator during the 1984 riots. And this case pertaining to November 1, 1984 at Pulbangash area where he made provocative speeches. Now, since there have been eyewitnesses, those statements have already been
I request you to please stay on with me because we are constantly getting reactions now. Please stay on because RP Singh of the BJP is also now joining me. Mr. RP Singh says, Mr. RP Singh, Jagdish Titler, while coming out of the CBI CFSL laboratory, says, this has nothing to do with 1984. This is a different case. Now, which different case it is, that he does not elaborate. So, do you want to tell us more about why and how can this voice sample help in any way of a possible conviction of Jagdish Titler? Because he said, my life has been made hell by you, the media, he says.
Well, he has been boasting at a place where there was a video sting being done on him, where he is boasting that he is trying to influence the judiciary and he's got certain people appointed as the judicial officers, and then he has tried to influence them. But now that news is tightening around him, the gentleman named Abhishek Verma, who was probably his business partner earlier, he didn't allow his narco test to be done. He is also on record. His narco test has been done. He is also on record saying that Mr. Titler probably used him to influence certain witnesses and sending the witnesses abroad. And those witnesses are also prepared to be on record, saying that how they were influenced by money and by getting them assignments and jobs abroad. But ultimately, news is tightening around his neck. And let me tell Mr. Titler, he might try to do his best, but as a community, we will never forgive and forget what he did to the community and what he did to the city.
Saying, is this not too little, too late? 84 pertains the case, or even later, if these videos that have surfaced, and now it's 2023.
You must remember Jallianwala Bagh and Udham Singh. 21 years, but I'm not saying that I'm not asking anyone to follow that process, yes. But yes, this matter has to be pursued, and we will pursue. I've been pushing it personally in court, whether it's the 84 without the Indira Committee report or Mr. Titler. And my daughter is a lawyer. She'll pursue after me. We are not going to let it go. We'll go through the legal process, whatever is judicial process which is available to us, the course which is available to us. But we'll ensure that Titler faces the ultimate prosecution.
Well, that's a fair point. For the victims who have suffered, it's never forgotten. So clearly, even in 2023, possibly, if this can lead to any sort of further opening of the cases as well, it could be appreciated. Thank you so much, Mr. RP Singh, for speaking to India Today Television. Listen again as we put all sides to the story of what Jagdish Titler said when he was coming out of the laboratory and spoke to the media persons.
CBI, anything about it?
Who says I recorded a statement?
So you came here to give your voice sample.
Yeah.
Sir, you were called for voice sampling, sir. The case is very old. Do you think this is agenda is by the government?
CFSL lab आए क्यों आए हैं सर?
क्यों आए हैं?
It has been 39 years, sir. What do you have to say about this? It has been 39 years, sir. Don't you think that now it's a time for you to closure? Say something.
I don't want to say anything.
Why, sir?
I won't let them do it. Let the government do their own job.
Sir, no, the government is doing their own job. But what do you now regret about what you've done?
What have you done? What have I done? Which have you? See again, you are one person. You are one person who makes it a person something. What have you done? What have you done? What have I done?
Sir, if you
yourself said 25 years and now you tell me what you've done.
After 39 years, sir.
सर जो वॉइस सैंपल दिए गए
कौन सा आरोप लगाया है?
सर आपको मेन
कौन सा आरोप लगाया? एक ही ना पुट करे सर कौन सा आरोप?
सर पुल पंगस मामले में जो एक की डेथ हुई, 3 की डेथ हुई थी और आग लगाई गई थी गुरुद्वारा में, उसके लेकर
उसके तो बारे हुआ ही नहीं बात. उसके बाद हुई नहीं. ये तो बिल्कुल डिफरेंट. पता करो जाके. It nothing to do with that 84. four things.
Titler sir, you regret about the entire incident which happened, sir? You've been made as a police suspect. They would have found something evidence now.
If there is one evidence, no, I'm prepared to hang myself. Let me tell you, if there was evidence, one evidence, they would have registered a FIR against me. 30 years they have not done it. They're still doing an inquiry. And now you're asking me, that look at the way kind of things which they're saying to me. बिल्कुल गलत बात है, झूठी बात है, कोई केस 84 का नहीं है. There is something else which they wanted my voice.
सर वो क्या बात थी किस मामले को लेकर फिर आए सर?
आप उनसे पूछिए.
और सर किस मामले को लेकर था सर? Sir, because the allegations are not stopping. You came here to give your audio recording samples. So what was it for?
There's one statement they wanted me to. This nothing to do with 84 rights. Nothing to do with it. There's another somebody had put a complaint that Mr. Titler said something. So they wanted to know if I had said this. But
so justice has not been given to the victims who were part of this tragedy.
Listen.
And you are accused in that case?
No, I'm not accused. Sir. This again, I'm saying, you media have created a hell for me.
Sir,
it's all right.
Why are you here, sir?
Why? I've told you that there's nothing to do with 84. Sir. There's another case which they wanted my voice. So I've given my voice.
So, but that case was also related
to... Ask them, if you ask them, if that is the case, then it will be something makes it. Because... बात हुई नहीं है. नहीं कोई और बात.
In your party also there is so much of influx which is happening. Sachin Pilot is sitting on protest.
I don't want to speak on anything. आपने पूछ लिया मैंने बता दिया.
So let's get more information and updates coming in from Ashutosh Mishra. Ashutosh, we heard now the full excerpt of what he had said, and it's very interesting. He said, I'm not even an accused. If they really wanted to take action against me, they would have filed an FIR. Nothing has been done properly. And importantly, he says, if one evidence also comes, I'll hang myself. That's the level of confidence that Jagdish Titler has right now. So how are we looking at this voice sample issue that he's just given a sample about?
There is very old say, Pooja, that the justice and the process of justice are two different things. And sometime when the process of justice is disrupted, interrupted, including the investigation, then surely it ends up to the denial of justice. As far as this case is concerned, pertains from November 1, 1984. Mr. Jagdish Titler was on the stage, who was leading the crowd, and there were provocative statements made. Now, these all statements were confirmed by the key eyewitnesses in this case, where the statements were also recorded under CRPC 164. We can surely confirm from our sources that this was indeed the same case, since those cases are already being investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation. And exactly in this case investigation, CBI summoned Mr. Titler to appear before the CFSL, and almost in 2 hours of the process, he recorded his voice sample to the CFSL. Now that will lead to the further forensic investigation. The voice samples will be matched, and then it will probably lead to the justice to the victims of the 1984 riot.
Ashutosh, stay on with me. Shehzad Poonawala of the Bharatiya Janata Party is also now joining me. Shehzad, clearly for the Sikh leaders, it's never too little too late. But here Jagdish Titler says, I will hang myself if there is evidence. There is no evidence. They haven't filed any proper FIR against me. They haven't taken any action against me. So he is very confident that he's just being wrongly framed.
You look, whatever is his defense, he has to give it in a court of law. He has to give it before the agencies. There's no need to play a victimhood card. But the question really is that why does the Congress extend its hands to all the kinds of rioters? The Congress said, Bada Ped Girta Hai, Dharti Hilti Hai for 1984 genocide. The Congress party defended Sachin Kumar for 34 years. It took Modi government to come to power. Then he got convicted. The Congress party has been promoting Jagdish Titler, made him in charge of Delhi NCD elections. They gave him posts in Delhi Working Congress. So therefore, today the Congress has to tell us that why do they rub salt into the wounds of the Sikh community? If they don't, they should distance themselves from Jagdish Titler and let him get a clean sheet, and then they can take him. But because the Gandhi family has always had a hatred for the Sikhs, they continue to patronize Jagdish Titler.
But voice sample, Shehzad, will voice sample really lead to opening of the cases against him or to a possible conviction with serious accusations against him of leading a riot mob at the Pulbangash Gurdwara in North Delhi a day after Indira Gandhi was shot dead? That's a very fair question to also ask about how can voice sample really have that much of significance?
You see, I don't want to get into speculating about the quality and the nature of the evidence. That is for a court of law. And
questions to decipher. My point is on the political and moral front. Does the Congress party continue to back the likes of Shivakumar and Jagdish Titler, or does the Congress party truly apologize for the 1984 riot and condemn the statements of Rajiv Gandhi and the actions of Shivakumar and Jagdish Titler? That's all.
Very interesting. Shehzad Poonawalla clearly making it more about the Congress party than specifically about Jagdish Titler, saying they also have to take some responsibility as a party of what happened in 1984. I'm leaving you with these visuals. For many victims, remember, justice still has been delayed and denied. Heading into a very short break, more after that.
As State of War Karnataka begins, a reminder why India today is the true number one. The five big faces speak to us before all others. From Chief Minister Bommai,
our intent is to weed out corruption,
to Chief Challenger Sitaraman,
yes, 100% I'm an aspirant.
From old warhorse Yediyurappa,
And I have got 100% confidence that we are going to come back to power in Karnataka.
to muscle man DK Shivakumar,
My number Karnataka on 13, 141 will be the number.
and Kingmaker Kumaraswamy.
Offer is there.
Okay.
Everybody offering me.
When it's Karnataka, there's no competition. India's number one election channel.
18th May 2022. A normal day that changed to an abnormal day. She was cut into 35 pieces.
उसने multiple weapons का use किया.
Up against a psychotic butcher and a web of savagery. Now her father fights to put pieces of justice together. This is the story of Shraddha and her father.
जब तक इसको फांसी नहीं होगी तब तक मैं इसका अंतिम संस्कार भी नहीं करूंगा.
My daughter, Shraddha. Coming soon.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist.
In election-bound Karnataka, it is now the milk war. Pro-Kannada workers are protesting in Belagavi. Protests have broken out that Amul, which is the popular all-India brand, has now made an entry into Karnataka, starting with online sales as well. Nandini is ours are the slogans heard in Belagavi. Remember, this is as much about politics as about local emotions, because with an election-bound state, any issue can surface to boil. Protests have erupted over Nandini versus Amul. Amul, just to give you a background, remember, the Anand Milk Union Limited, born in Gujarat but has become an all-India popular brand, a household name in fact, while Nandini is a homegrown Karnataka brand and is primarily restricted in that region. But now with Amul making an entry also in Karnataka, it has led to concerns of whether it will overpower Nandini and affect the farmers in Karnataka. And with this confusion and concerns, this has become a huge political issue. The Congress party in the state of Karnataka is blaming the BJP for interfering in Karnataka and trespassing the domain of the Karnataka farmers. And while there was this cooperative society of Nandini, now it is going to be taken over by Amul. And many while are asking the question of why cannot Amul and Nandini exist simultaneously in Karnataka, just like Amul does with other dairy products and cooperative societies across India. For Karnataka, it's just less than a month to go. BJP and Congress, meanwhile, are busy finalizing candidates. Not easy because there are a lot of considerations that are made with the final list. BJP is yet to release even the first list of candidates, despite Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairing a CEC meeting on Sunday. BJP appears to have gone back to the drawing room. They are adding on and redoing the list. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will also look at the list today as he returns from Arunachal Pradesh. Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, meanwhile, claiming the High Command was collecting ground information on various constituency and candidates, and the last list and the latest could be released by either today or tomorrow morning. This is interesting because Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said that the BJP is being extremely cautious with the list, that there should be no confusion within the party. What about the Congress? Congress has taken a jibe at the BJP for being so indecisive. They are saying it because the Congress has already released 2 lists and are finalizing the remaining. And they are saying that there is complete chaos and confusion within the BJP.
ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಿಮ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಗೃಹ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಅವರ ಜೊತೆ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಲಿ. ಗೊಂದಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಒಂದು ಪಟ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಶಿಯಸ್.
ನಿನ್ನೆ ದಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವರೇನೋ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ರು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲದೊಳಗಡೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಳೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದ. ವಿಳಂಬ ಇಲ್ರಿ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಫೈನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Why is it that Mr. J.P. Nadda and Mr. Amit Shah, having held marathon meetings, BJP has not been able to declare a single candidate till date? Does that not show and prove to our brothers and sisters of Karnataka the manner and fashion in which there is chaos and confusion in the Bharatiya Janata Party? It also proves that Bharatiya Janata Party is a sinking ship.
ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಸೀಟನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಎಐಸಿಸಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಸಮಿತಿಯವರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸದೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
ಬಿಜೆಪಿ all 224 candidates are chief ministerial candidates. So everybody has their own list. We all know that BJP is a broken house. Here in Karnataka, they have looted enough and more, and people who have looted enough and more are absolutely watching the game to be get unfolded. But however, this is an internal matter of BJP. But we know through our sources that there is a huge infighting and there is huge lobbying, and BJP is absolutely not able to decide. RSS has a list, Mukunda has a list, Mr. B.L. Santosh has a list, Yediyurappa has a list, Bommai has a list, everybody has a list. So we don't know what list is going to come. But however, BJP is a broken house. BJP is really definitely not even going to cross 60 seats.
So, with our sources, we tried to find out what could be the reason for suspense and delay by the BJP to release the list. Congress using that to target the BJP. Here's what we have discovered. The BJP High Command, that specifically the senior leadership in Delhi, is not exactly happy with some of the recommendations that have come. Remember, this is about cadre, winnability of a candidate and much more. Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah also would like to have some fresh faces. That means some of the sitting MLAs of the BJP government in Karnataka could actually be dropped. BJP brass has also added that they will be working on social engineering, which means a lot of permutations, combinations. It could be caste factors, it could be community, but importantly, it will be about which candidate can win and ensure work in the area. Apart from this, remember, we're also being told in a 224 assembly seat for Karnataka, it's also going to be about sitting MLAs that could lose their position, at least 15 to 20 in number. That's what I was talking about, the fresh faces that the BJP wants to induct. So once they are fully and completely happy, ensuring that there's no infighting, no revolt, no confusion and chaos within the BJP, the list may actually come out possibly by tomorrow morning. Now, with the assembly polls clearly closing in, time is running out. The confusion is not just in BJP or the Congress. It's also in the JDS, the Janata Dal Secular of HD Kumaraswamy, and that is within the family, between two brothers, that this war in political circles have broken out. Former Chief Minister HD Kumaraswamy, senior leader of the JDS, and his brother Revanna, actually his wife Bhavani Revanna, is being asked to give a seat from Hassan, to which Kumaraswamy has not given an approval just yet. We are being told this has led to a rift within the brothers, among the brothers as well. And within the constituency, there is deliberation happening of whether or not the JDS would want to give this ticket, primarily looking at different issues. And one of them, remember, a winnability of a candidate is often a part of that consideration. But here's how this has got serious. Revanna has threatened that he will not contest from Holanaresi-Pura if his wife Bhavani does not get the ticket, because he already has a ticket from the JDS. Revanna further has threatened if the wife is not given, he may even, or she actually, may even contest independent against JDS in Hassan. Kumaraswamy wants a worker, a karyakarta, to be given the ticket from Hassan. He says his father and former Prime Minister Deve Gowda didn't have the same sway as before to convince Revanna to drop his demand. So basically, Deve Gowda is not able to really forge any peace between the brothers. Deve Gowda had met his son Revanna to his house last night, but there was no consensus that could be reached on Hassan's ticket.
ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಹಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಿಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ರಾಜಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ದೇವೇಗೌಡರು ಇವತ್ತು ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಹ ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ದುರಾದೃಷ್ಟ. ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು?
There is no question going either nearer to Congress or nearer to BJP. My journey will start from 10th onwards. All the old Mysore area, Hassan, Mandya, Chikmagalur, these are the old Mysore areas. I am going to Chitradurga, tour this area. This is our strong belt.
It is an internal matter of JDS, and I'm sure we would definitely solve it amicably. Politics is a game of aspiration, and everybody has an aspiration. And Bhavani Revanna having an aspiration from Hassan seat is absolutely no wrong. And Kumaraswamy has his own understanding what needs to be done. But this is an internal matter of party, and I'm very sure that when we sit across, and this would be resolved amicably, and a suitable candidate would be given ticket, and we are very sure to win that ticket.
So listen in now to the reactions coming in. HD Kumaraswamy and his son Nikhil Kumaraswamy spoke to my colleague Nagarjun Dwarkanath over the Hassan constituency issue. Listen in.
There were a lot of reports about Hassan fight. They were saying that brothers are fighting for the Hassan ticket seat. How do you see when the BJP picks this and the Congress picks this as the issue, saying, look, the family is fighting?
Hassan issue, nothing will happen, brother. Smoothly it will going to be settled. 100% we are going to announce an ordinary worker to win that election. There will be no quarrel between family members.
You specifically said ordinary worker, you said.
Nothing will happen. Ordinary worker worker we will going to announce, he will going to win.
See, we are living in a democratic world, and when people want to serve, I mean, when the candidates want to serve people, see, politics is a stage for you. Bhavani ji wants to contest, and even Swaroop is, been active in politics since a long time. So this ultimately depends on the party national president and our party state president. So I think they are better people to take call on this, because we have a committee, and I think the committee will take a call.
Meanwhile, in the Congress camp, also there is confusion over the Chief Minister's face and a new twist. Here's what's happened. The ongoing tussle between Sitaraman and DK Shivakumar, the Karnataka Congress chief's attempts now could be to bring in Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge's name into the Chief Minister's race. It has raised eyebrows within the party circles. Shivakumar's move to endorse Kharge as the CM, if required, is being basically seen an attempt to checkmate rival Siddharamaya's prospects. Shivakumar's statement that he would love to work under Kharge if he becomes the Chief Minister has got tongues wagging in many parts of the Congress. Karnataka Congress Chief's endorsement has also reignited the debate on several other equations. A Dalit Chief Minister face, old versus the new guard issue within the party. But of course, it will be the party high command finally that will decide, and that decision has not yet been taken.
I said in the interview that I am also an aspirant for the Chief Minister post. Likewise, Mr. DK Shivakumar is also an aspirant for the Chief Minister post. The aim of both of us is to defeat BJP and to bring back Congress party into power. And the ground reality in Karnataka is there is a wave in favor of Congress party. BJP is going to be defeated. My statement in the interview is misinterpreted.
Only one alliance JDS is open for is an alliance with Kannadigas and people of Karnataka. And right now it is very premature to tell anything. It is an internal matter of Congress whether they are going to have Sitaraman, Yediyurappa, or Sitaraman, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge or DK Shivakumar as Chief Minister, or any other Chief Minister candidate. We know one thing, only party which has come out with their list and only party which has decided their Chief Minister candidate with GDS, Kumaraswamy is going to be our Chief Minister, and the only people whom we are going to rely for our betterment is Kannadigas. Pratap Simha is a non-entity, is paper Simha, a motor mouth. A person always makes uncalibrated statements. So people like Pratap Simha, who are absolutely looking for controversy on every subject, should not be taken seriously from an important channel like India Today. So people like Pratap Simha should be ignored. Pratap Simha, I would like to ask a question. That the pink revolution started under the regime of Mr. Narendra Modi. We are the second largest beef exporter in the world. So Mr. Pratap Simha party should be.
I want my party to take a call on it. I want my legislature to take a call on it. We have aspiration. We all are human beings. Why not? I am senior to everyone. You said 85. I am 35 years continuously elected to the assembly with all authority. I am a seniority.
Remember, for an election-bound state, any issue can boil over, and now it is the milk war with regard to Nandini and Amul. Congress is opposing the entry of Amul, claiming it would pose a threat to the Karnataka Milk Federation brand Nandini. BJP has slammed former Karnataka Chief Minister Sitaraman, saying it was during his tenure that Amul expanded even its footprint in the state. BJP MP Pratap Simha is alleging Sitaraman doesn't support Karnataka farmers. He in fact backs the cow slaughterers and beef eaters. Sharpening the attack, Simha said Congress is fanning a Nandini controversy simply for electoral gains. DK Shivakumar has also hit back, claiming it's an insult to Kannada pride and will impact loss to the farmers too. He in fact visited one of the stores of Nandini, bought products, ensured all was caught on camera.
ಈಗ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗೋಸ್ಕರವಾಗಿ ಇದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತನಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಗೋಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ದನಗಳನಿಗೆ ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅವರು? ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಗೋಹತ್ಯೆ ನಿಷೇಧ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಇವರು KMF ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾಲು ಉತ್ಪಾದಕರಿಗೆ, ತಾಯಂದಿರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು? ನಮ್ಮ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ? ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಗೋಹತ್ಯೆ ನಿಷೇಧ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಂದರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡೋ ಗೋ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನೋರ ಓಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇವ್ರು ಗೋವನ್ನು ಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿನ್ನುವವರ ಪರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರಿವಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 2018ರಲ್ಲೇ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಪಾಠವನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
We all want to protect the Nandini brand, which has been built up with such care. But I think buy media has to be found. And certainly one of the good things we should have is Nandini should also be exported to more states. If we start getting too protectionist, we may not be helping. We may not be helping our national economy. But at the same time, I understand the concerns of those who are working in Karnataka, who are, after all, contributing to the success and quality of the Nandini brand. And we have to take their needs into account as well.
70 lakh farmers and their livelihood is dependent on KMF. And a very big personality like the Honorable Home Minister of India coming and saying that they are going to merge and they want to finish KMF, this is definitely hitting on the livelihood of Kannadigas, which any sensible, any loving Kannadiga would definitely not like it. We have...
Order casually, national security casually, but the family's interest and the party's interest is what drives them the most. I must also reiterate, people of Karnataka, my brothers and sisters here have realized their aspirations can only be fulfilled by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the biggest guarantee of a safe environment, of a state that has proper law and order machinery functioning, is the Bharatiya Janata Party and the lotus of Bharatiya Janata Party. In a way, today the Congress stands exposed, and they can't even muster the courage to take on these questions. On behalf of the Bharatiya Janata Party, challenge Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. I challenge Mr. Sitaraman. Please tell us, are you going to have friendly relations with any political party whose arm has been banned by the government of India? Yes, you committed a sin in 2018. People taught you a lesson. Are you again going to commit the same sin? And this only happens because this kind of ideology breathes inside the Gandhi Parivar environment. Don't ever forget Rahul Gandhi. When Siddiqui Kappan, a member of the band outfit, was arrested, and for 2.5 years, he was not granted bail by the Sessions Court, the High Court, and even the Supreme Court. Rahul Gandhi, during his visit to the state of Kerala, he decided to meet the family members of Siddiqui Kappan, giving a loud message. So what if you destroy or attempt to destroy the national integrity of our country? So what if you have links with terror outfits? The Gandhi Parivar stands firmly with such persons of dubious record. And thus, time has come to raise these questions. And we all know media is the fourth pillar of democracy. Our duty is to raise these questions on every available platform. I am sure the voice of the people will be carried forward by the media. These questions will be posed to Mr. Sitaraman and to Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. The second issue, which is again very, very relevant, is an issue everywhere this sea of chaos, corruption, deceit, lies, propaganda of the Congress party goes. Again, for the sake of petty politics for votes, they make certain promises. गारंटी है भैया, गारंटी हम देंगे गारंटी. अरे आपके गारंटी के कार्ड में धब्बे लगे हुए हैं और वही धब्बे मैं उजागर करूंगा यहां से. आप गारंटी देंगे? कांग्रेस पार्टी की केवल एक गारंटी है. गारंटी है परिवारवाद होगा, तुष्टीकरण होगा. कांग्रेस आई है, तुष्टीकरण लेके आई है. पीएफआई, एसडीपीआई का मैंने आपको बताया. अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी आई है तो वो केवल एक परिवार का हित साधने आई है. जनता से उनका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. और आज ही की बात है, सोनिया गांधी जी ने एक पत्रिका में एक आर्टिकल लिखा है, लोकतंत्र खतरे में है. सोनिया गांधी जी को बताना होगा, आपके लिए आपका लोकतंत्र राहुल गांधी से शुरू होता है और गांधी परिवार से खत्म होता है. लोकतंत्र मजबूत हो रहा है. सोनिया माता जी, अगर आपका बेटा राजनीति में सफल नहीं हो पाया, लोगों का विश्वास नहीं जीत पाया, तो कृपया करके ऐसी धारणा मत रखिए. ये लोकतंत्र मजबूत होगा. भारत में वो ताकत है. श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में विश्व पटल पर हम दिशा दे रहे हैं और आप कह रहे हैं कि मेरा बेटा सफल नहीं हुआ इसलिए लोकतंत्र जो है कमजोर हो गया. मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, राहुल गांधी जी, आप गारंटी देते हैं, वादे करते हैं. जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक प्रेस वार्ता करती है तो हम इधर उधर की बात नहीं करते हैं, हम तथ्यों के साथ आते हैं. मैं याद दिलाना चाहता हूं, छत्तीसगढ़ पहले कांग्रेस की सरकार है. 10 नवंबर 2018 राहुल गांधी की खुद की एक स्पीच है. कहते हैं कि अगर हम सत्ता में आए तो 10 दिनों में किसानों का सारा कर्जा माफ कर देंगे. ये दावा था, ये गारंटी दी थी. असलियत ये है, कर्जा माफ नहीं हुआ. इसके बाद आज ही की खबर है, सचिन पायलट जी पूर्व उप मुख्यमंत्री हैं राजस्थान के, कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता माने जाते हैं. क्या ये सत्य नहीं है? वो क्यों धरने पे बैठे हैं? सचिन पायलट इज फास्टिंग. ही इज प्रोटेस्टिंग अगेंस्ट द कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट इन राजस्थान. एंड व्हाट इज ही सेइंग? Sachin Pilot has made a very categorical statement yesterday that during the election in 2018 we made certain promises to the people of Rajasthan. Those remain unfulfilled. Therefore, we are not in a position to face the people of Rajasthan. ये इनका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है. ये गारंटी दे रहे हैं कर्नाटका में. Now, people of Karnataka are very wise. They've made the right choices. They will again make the right choice. BJP government will come to power. But the point is कि वो गारंटी छत्तीसगढ़ और राजस्थान में काम क्यों नहीं आई? वो गारंटी कार्ड का क्या करें? यहां पे गारंटी दे रहे हैं. और सबसे बड़ी बात जो मैं आपके समक्ष रख रहा हूं, I am keeping this fact before you, requesting you, beseeching you to raise this point before Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, also Mr. Sitaraman, and the third umpire that has come from Delhi to ensure that the two don't fight for a chair. The fact is this. In my hand, the BJP leader in Rajasthan, Satish Punia ji, he reminded Ashok Gehlot ji. He asked a question to the government, and the summary I am narrating, and then I will read from this official document of the government. He asked that you promised farm loan waiver for the farmers of Rajasthan. Have you fulfilled your promise? And it goes like this. Now allow me to read. Quote. क्या ये सही है कि हाल ही में किसानों की जमीन ऋण नहीं चुकाए जाने के कारण कुड़की की कार्रवाई.
So clearly the Bharatiya Janata Party jumping into the infighting that's taking place in the Congress camp in Rajasthan. Heading into a very short break, this remember could become a big issue as well within the Congress if it is not able to handle this infighting between Gehlot and Pilot. More on that after a very short break.
Good morning viewers, let's take a look at the weather report across the major cities this morning. Thiruvananthapuram is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 61. Mumbai is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 63. Panaji is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 67. Ahmedabad is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 142. Bhopal is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 75. Jaipur is at 28 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 115. Delhi is at 26 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 113. Srinagar is at 13 degrees Celsius with AQI being 68. Lucknow is at 27 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 108. Patna is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 197. Kolkata is at 33 degrees with an AQI of 146. Hyderabad is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 136. Bangalore is at 24 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 57. Chennai is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 74. This is all we have for you in this segment. Hope wherever you are, you find favorable weather around you. Keep watching India Today for all the weather updates with me AI Sana all through the day.
Good afternoon and welcome. You're watching The Lunch Break. I'm Pooja Shali. Let's begin first with the headlines. Sonia Gandhi writes an editorial slamming government at the centre, says Modi is destroying 3 pillars of democracy, alleges CBI is being misused and other judiciary and the agencies as well by Modi government. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman is in the United States of America and gave a firm rebuttal to the negative Western perception of India in Washington. Says do not listen to perceptions built by people who've not even been on the ground and are producing reports.
I would only say come have a look at what's happening in India, rather than listen to perceptions being built by people who have not even visited on the ground and who produce reports.
In Rajasthan, it's the Pilot versus Gehlot war reigniting. Pilot is on dharna against his own government. Rajasthan Congress in charge says Pilot is targeting the party, not Gehlot. Meanwhile, the suspense continues on the BJP ticket list. No decision taken yet, even after the CEC meeting. BJP likely to redo the candidate list. Home Minister Amit Shah, coming back from Arunachal Pradesh to Delhi, will hold another round of meeting likely today. Enforcement Directorate heat is on Tejashwi Yadav over land for job scam. ED questions Tejashwi over 600 crore rupees proceeds of crime now. Ministers in the government are now responding to the editorial written by Sonia Gandhi, lashing out at the government of the centre. Remember, he's also the law minister and she has also targeted the judiciary, saying judiciary is also being misused by Modi government. He has slammed Sonia Gandhi over the remarks on judiciary and he asked, I quote him here, is Sonia lecturing us about democracy? Illusory statement of highest improbability, says Kiran Rijiju, the law minister of the country. Akshay Dongre with the latest on that. Akshay, so that can be seen as the first reaction from a Modi Mantri about what she has said, and it is in many ways significant because that's exactly the profile he holds.
Well, absolutely, Pooja, and in fact, it was expected that the Union Law Minister will speak on this particular article because Sonia Gandhi, besides naming the Prime Minister specifically in this article of this newspaper that I'm holding in my hand right now, she specifically targets the Union Law Minister as well, where she says that the Union Law Minister calling some retired judges anti-national and warning that they will pay a price. She's calling this language deliberately being used by the minister. So Kiran Rijiju has, while he has not been named, but the article clearly states that the Union Law Minister. So that there is a direct reference to a Union Law Minister, and that seems to be the reason for this sharp hit back that has come.
Because I want the viewer to listen into what Kiran Rijiju, the Law Minister of the country, has to say, how he's responding to Sonia Gandhi's scathing editorial at the Modi government.
Just a few days back, Chief Justice himself said he is under no duress to perform his duty. He never gets any kind of undue pressure from the government to take or to toe certain lines. Despite that, there are people who are constantly saying that Indian democracy is severely compromised. Indian judiciary is almost dead.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman is presently in the United States of America and gave a befitting reply to the negative Western perception of India. Here's what she said. At the Peterson Institute for International Economics in Washington, D.C., Nirmala Sitaraman replied to questions about, for example, Muslim minorities in India allegedly being subject to violence. The finance minister slammed the Western media and its perception, saying India has the second largest Muslim population in the world. And that population is only growing in numbers. She claims that the members of the Muslim community continue to conduct normal life in India and it's for anyone to come and check themselves. Finance Minister further branded this Western write-ups, columns on India's stand on Muslims a complete sham. A delegation of Sikh Americans also met the finance minister. The delegation said the Khalistani movement is fizzling out due to the pro-Sikh steps that have been taken by the government, and added that a handful of Khalistanis will not decide about how the Sikh communities want to move forward and in fact are giving bad name to the Sikhs across the world.
Pakistan declared itself an Islamic country, but however said, minorities will be protected. Every minority has been dwindling in its number, or if I may use the word which is harsher, decimated in Pakistan. Even some of the Muslim sects have also been decimated. Violence prevails against Muhajirs, Shia, and every other group you can name, which is not accepted by the mainstream, I don't know, Sunnis probably. Whereas in India, you would find every strand of Muslim doing their business, their children getting educated, fellowships are being given by the government. So across the board in India, if violence is happening to make Muslims get affected, itself is a fallacy as a statement. It cannot be so. Each province and its police are different. They are run by the elected governments in those provinces. So that itself tells you how these reports have no clue of the law and order systems in India. We are reaching near saturation in providing the basic facilities in India. Earlier, the discussions would be on poverty alleviation. Have we removed this many number of people from out of poverty and lifted them out? Today, the approach of the government is to empower the poor people with at least the basic amenities, and that is give them some good house to live in, which is made of concrete and not this thatched roof, with toilets in them, with drinking water reaching them through pipes, electricity, and a good road, not just to the village, but also to the streets in the village, and then connect them to the nearest highway, connect them with good transport facility, and so on. So saturation, financial inclusion, so that each member of the household has a bank account, and they get every such benefit which has to reach them, but directly into their bank account rather than through a middle agency. I would only say, come have a look at what's happening in India, rather than listen to perceptions being built by people who have not even visited on the ground and who produce reports. It has to be very smartly tailored to make sure that India's unique demands can be met by your own manufacturing, but at the same time you need to get your raw materials and intermediaries, which otherwise you do not have. I don't think India is alone in doing this, particularly after, let's say, the global view of China. This changing perspective of what indeed is globalization, how far globalization, to what extent globalization. So when all these questions are happening and being discussed all over the world, India cannot be in isolation. And also looking at how just tariff is not going to be one way of controlling or preserving your capacities in manufacturing. So it is a strand, I suppose, in a larger debate of how the global trade will have to happen.
It's quite unfortunate that a certain perception is being formed about India in the Western press, and a large part of it is because of what the opposition members of parliament and leaders have been saying abroad, particularly people like Rahul Gandhi, who go abroad and make all kinds of sweeping statements about persecution of minorities back in India and seek foreign intervention in India's internal affairs. The Western media has in part formed its perception based on that, and in part on basis of what some factions of the media here speak. But the truth of the matter is very, very different from what they would like to believe. In the last 9 years, the state of minorities in India has improved significantly, whether it is the drop in the girl child education, which was earlier 70%, has now dropped to 30%, scholarships, which have gone up from 3 crore before 2014 to 5 crore now, representation in government jobs, which was a paltry 5% before 2014 and now stands at 10%. Or for that matter, the overall support that is being provided to the members of the minority community, skilling them. Just about 20,000 people in 2014 were skilled, as opposed to 2 million, which is about 20 lakh people post-2014. So these developments that have happened have put the minority community in a very, very good position in India.
Well, Finance Minister's concern about Muslims in India is welcome.
But at the same time, I think she needs to answer that what is the opportunity that is being given to Muslims in India as far as her party is concerned. You see, the highest lawmaking body, that is the Parliament, Lok Sabha, where they don't give a single Muslim a seat. No, how can they justify in saying that we are trying to empower Muslims or we are giving them their legitimate share? And you see, I am sorry to say, to tell the Honorable Finance Minister also, that please don't compare Indian Muslim, 200 Indian Muslims who are committed to the growth of their country, the welfare of their country, with Pakistan or with any other country. More particularly, every time we are being just found fault with regard to Pakistan. We don't care what is happening in Pakistan. We are not concerned with the Muslims in Pakistan or Pakistan establishment. Once we have parted from 1947 onwards, we are growing in our country. We are committed to the growth of our country.
It's trouble brewing for DK Shivakumar. We have some big breaking news coming in. Shivakumar is under the EC lens after the Nandini photo opportunity too. Remember, he had visited some of the Nandini stores, bought products. Also, the Election Commission will now check if Shivakumar violated the election code. This is on the Nandini Amul controversy, with the Amul making an entry into Karnataka, which is election bound. There is this allegation that this could be a violation of election code of conduct against KPCC President DK Shivakumar. Already, remember, he has had summons from the ED on different issues. Then there was this viral video of the truck from where he was showering 500 rupee currency notes on the artists. He said, now Hassan District MCMC team directed the State Nodal Officer of Public Grievance Department to verify the video. It's already viral on social media. They have been directed to check whether there is any violation of the code of conduct while he was distributing the milk products. Report needs to be submitted within 24 hours. Just to give you a background again, look at this visual closely. DK Shivakumar went to one of these stores amid the controversy, purchased some of the milk products from Nandini, which is a homegrown brand of dairy products, and distributed to people also in Hassan. Sagai Raj joins you on the phone line with this. Sagai, so this clearly Shivakumar may not have expected is going to land him in trouble. But how can this be seen as a code of conduct violation, Sagai?
See, what we get to learn is there is a complaint which has been raised, and immediately Model Code of Conduct officials have directed the media team to verify that particular video and submitted the report to the Public Grievances Committee within 24 hours. And there are allegations that he has not only purchased the product but also distributed people the Nandini milk products. So they have raised a question that this is probably the violation of Model Code of Conduct, and that is one of the reasons why this particular instruction has been given by the Model Code of Conduct Committee to the public for the media committee to submit a report.
Sagai Raj with the latest coming in from Karnataka. Thank you very much, Sagai. Sachin Pilot is on a war path in Rajasthan, and the Congress has issued dire warning. It's a fresh attack on Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, where former Rajasthan Deputy CM Sachin Pilot announced a hunger strike. Now he's saying, and he's taken this offensive basically, with corruption cases and accusing the Gehlot government of being hand in glove with the BJP leader and former Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje. He's saying, why aren't the BJP cases being opened up? Why aren't their action being taken? But this move to sit on a day-long fast has caused a lot of disquiet within the Congress. His loyalists are lending support to Sachin Pilot. Rajasthan Congress has expressed meanwhile displeasure over this dharna and called Pilot for a calm dialogue within the party. Pilot is getting support from Chhattisgarh, interestingly. It's the state's health minister, T.S. Singhdeo, in a rare show of support, has hailed Pilot's dharna and said this sit-in will bring better change in the grand old party. But it's Chhattisgarh, remember, for Rajasthan it could be trouble because the Congress High Command hasn't taken it lightly. Listen in to some reactions that have come.
आज जननेता आदरणीय सचिन पायलट जी एक दिन के सांकेतिक धरने पर यहाँ पर बैठेंगे। राजस्थान प्रदेश का जो युवा है और प्रत्येक वर्ग का व्यक्ति आज यहाँ पर इस धरने में सम्मिलित होंगे। पिछली सरकार के अंदर जो भ्रष्टाचार हुए हैं, इस मुहिम के अंदर पूरा युवा एकजुट है और युवा और पूरा प्रदेश यही चाहता है कि उस भ्रष्टाचार की जाँच होनी चाहिए और उस जाँच के लिए तमाम लोग एकजुट हैं और हम हमारे नेता आदरणीय सचिन पायलट जी के साथ हैं।
पायलट जी में भ्रष्टाचार के लिए कहाँ है तो अच्छी चीज है, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ कांग्रेस कार्रवाई करती है। अभी भी जो चीज तथ्य होंगे उस पर कार्रवाई होगी। आम आदमी भी बैठता है अनशन पे, तो ये तो अपना अधिकार, वो पूर्व सेंटर मिनिस्टर रहे, प्रदेश अध्यक्ष रहे, हमारे डिप्टी सीएम रहे, तो चीज उठा रहे हैं तो कोई चीज तथ्य होगा तो ही उठा रहे हैं।
सचिन पायलट जी राजस्थान विधानसभा के सदस्य हैं। राजस्थान विधानसभा के 5 बजट सत्र पूरे हो गए। एक शब्द अगर वो बोले होते, क्योंकि इससे बड़ा लोकतंत्र में मंच नहीं, वो कबीना के अंदर उप मुख्यमंत्री रहे, 18-19 महीने रहे, कबीना की बैठक में प्रस्ताव लाकर बात करते तो समझ में आते। वो इस सरकार में, गहलोत सरकार में कोयले घोटाले की खरीद घोटाले की बात करते, महंगी बिजली खरीद घोटाले की बात करते, वो टीएडी के अंदर फर्नीचर घोटाले के नाम पर जनजाति के जिस तरह बजट का दुरुपयोग किया उसकी बात करते। इन कई अनुत्तरित बातें हैं, उनकी बात करते तो बहुत अच्छा रहता। मैं समझता हूँ कहीं पे निगाहें, कहीं पे निशाना चलेगा नहीं।
अरे जो भी बात है वो घर में होनी चाहिए ना, घर से बाहर नहीं होनी चाहिए। अब आप मुझसे पूछ रहे हो तो वो भी मैं वही गलती करूँ जो कोई और कर रहा है, मैं भी आपसे बात करूँ, वो बात नहीं करनी चाहिए। अगर मेरे मन में कोई बात होगी तो मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी से अवश्य मिलूंगा, कहूँगा, वो मेरे मित्र हैं, दोस्त हैं, हम उनका सम्मान करते हैं। अगर कुछ पार्टी के हित में होगा तो मैं उनसे कहूँगा।
Is on hunger strike not against Mr. Gehlot, for an inquiry against Vasundhara Raje ji. There is a lot of difference. You know, once he says I am in revolt against Ashok Gehlot and his government, that is revolt. He is raising an issue regarding corruption of Vasundhara Raje and her government. That is not anti-party.
So remember, this is what's happening in Rajasthan. Let's get in some perspective as well. Our executive editor Preeti Chaudhary joins me here in the studio. Preeti, what should one make of this? Is this the last push before likely he wants to leave the party, or he realizes this is his moment to realize his own ambitions?
Well, you know, Pooja, the deal is I don't see Sachin Pilot leaving the party. But what could happen is that Sachin Pilot is made to leave the party in terms of that the party takes a decision. I think Sachin Pilot is in a catch-22 situation. He didn't quite anticipate, that late-light letter by Mr. Randhawa, which practically stated that the Congress thinks that if Sachin Pilot goes ahead with his fast, it's anti-party activities. Now, if the Congress in an official communique has said this is anti-party, then by the end of the fast, the Congress will have to take some action. What is also interesting is yesterday morning, when the Congress first initially reacted to the announcement that Sachin Pilot is going to be fasting, to oppose the corruption, in the state of Rajasthan, of especially Vasundhara Raje Scindia, it was clearly perceived that he's sitting on a fast against his own government. So first, initially reaction of the Congress was officially to say that we support Ashok Gehlot. He's doing a fabulous job in the state. They did not say anything where Sachin Pilot was concerned. They skirted the entire issue. However, now Ashok Gehlot, they don't call him the Jadugar for no reason. He is he's in COVID, like he's suffering from COVID, so he's in isolation. But clearly there has been enough pressure that has been put from Ashok Gehlot's office on Congress, to make sure that a very strong missive is sent. And when was this missive sent? By Mr. Randhawa, who's in charge of the state, at 11:30 last night.
But he hasn't said anything wrong. He's saying open corruption cases against the BJP.
But he's also saying that my own government is not acting on it. So where does it leave? Coming back to where does it leave Sachin Pilot? It leaves him in a very tough spot, because yes, now that he had said that he's going to be sitting on a fast, he has to sit on a fast. He's come and sat down on his fast. Now what happens? Will the Congress crack the whip, which is take action, which is suspend him? Because if they've said officially this is anti-party and he has defied the whip of the Congress, then he has to, pay the consequences.
Do you think the Congress communique also is very clear on what their agenda is? They are standing by.
They are standing by Ashok Gehlot. They've made that very clear. The background to all of this is what, Pooja, is that Sachin Pilot, since the CLP fiasco a few months ago, has been trying desperately to reach the High Command. really nothing much has come from that end. He sees the writing on the wall. Will Sachin Pilot sit out this election and wait for his time to come, the next election round? Sachin Pilot is a man in a hurry.
And I know Preeti will be tracking the latest.
And he's not going to. Yeah. So will he start his own political outfit? I would think if his back is towards the wall, which it is right now, he, in all probability, he will look at starting his own political outfit.
And he's the only one who hasn't taken a plunge yet of quitting the party like many others.
He will not quit the party, but will he force the party's hand?
Very interesting. Preeti Chaudhary will be on top of this story. We have some big news coming in. Let's take a look, and this is also important. Remember, meanwhile, Sachin Pilot continues to sit on dharna in Rajasthan. Uttar Pradesh cops are taking Atiq Ahmed to Prayagraj. That's the big development coming in. Remember, from Gujarat, he was taken to Prayagraj for a presence in, and he had to be produced in court. Now he's being taken again to the Prayagraj court. Again, similar status of the security cordon around him. And this time, Atiq is crying conspiracy. They will kill me, he says, Atiq Ahmed. These are the latest visuals on your screen coming in. En route Prayagraj, look at the security deployment, ensuring that he is safe and secure, the manner in which the convoy is taken. But Prayagraj is in Uttar Pradesh. From Gujarat, Sabarmati, to take him to Prayagraj is a long haul. It was an overnight journey the last time it took place.